This is Shaun Sport in podcast form.
The AFL Hall of Fame was on last night, which was great news because you get to see some players who have been great players in states, not only in the AFL, get recognised, which is great news. And one of them was West Aussie star Ray Schofield, who played for the West Perth Football Club.
Is he any relation?
No, he's no relation to Scoey, because Scoey's a Victorian, but no, they're not a they're
Jared? No?
Jared Schofield? Oh, I don't even know about Jared, but I'll find that one out. So that's great news for WA football to be recognised.
Shaun, just put your headphones on. Shaun is struggling to put his headphones on because he's getting caught up in his breakfast.
That's cold.
You're right.
That's cold.
I know.
Don't get me started. So the good news last night too is that Jason Dunstall, as you've heard in the news, he was elevated to the legend status. So he kicked 1,256 goals. And I've got to say, I was fortunate enough to start my career where Jason Dunstall was playing, Tony Lockett was playing, and Gary Ablett was playing, to name three. Stephen Kernahan as well. Yeah. It's just one of those highlights of my career.
Full forward goal kickers, that used to kick a bag regularly. Yeah.
So, did you have any interesting interactions with any of them, Shaun? Or were you too nervous to play near them?
Plugger would have flattened you if you went anywhere near him, surely.
Yeah, I stayed away from Plugger a lot. So one day, the first year I played, Plugger kicked his 1,000th goal at the SCG. So the crowd just stormed the field. So we all had to run off, obviously.
Yeah.
And there was a couple that were in the middle of the ground who were just laying on the grass, rolling around, sucking heads.
Just getting in the
Were
moment.
they?
Yeah. It was very romantic.
It was really
why
strange.
wouldn't
Another time, Plugger said to my mate Stephen O'Reilly, who was playing, a good Esperance boy now, as you know.
Yes.
He was playing fullback. He said, Stephen, if you run off me today, I'm going to rip your effing head off. And Stephen used to play a game style where he'd run off, and he did. And when he came back, then Tony Lockett tried to rip his head off, literally. Took his actually wrestled his jumper off and threw it into the crowd.
Oh, did he? Deserted him.
Gary Ablett,
so funny.
also, I played in the game where he kicked his 1,000th goal, which is amazing. And Stephen played on him that day. But the thing that I love about Gary Ablett, because he was my hero, is one day I stayed behind on a Saturday game and stayed in Melbourne for the night, and I went to a pub on a Sunday to meet some friends, and I saw Gary Ablett walk in, and he was just my hero, and he was wearing like a black suit, and he looked really, really nice. Anyway,
You did not walk into it.
I walked into the toilet. No.
Okay. Can I have your autograph?
I walked into the toilet and he came in and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to see Gary Ablett. No, I didn't think about it. Just Gary Ablett. And then I was looking down and he was wearing Ugg boots. So he had a full black suit, as you would go to a wedding. And he was wearing Ugg boots.
That's amazing.
You know what we need to do
That's
one
very
day?
Geelong.
We need to take calls on who you've urinated next to. I urinated next to LL Cool J in LA when I was staying at the Four Seasons.
Was that intimidating?
Well, yeah, because he stood 4 feet back from the wall. That's a good one. We can talk about that one.
That's a good one, actually.
That's one for the girls.
Hey, shout out to Dane Swan, who was also inducted in the AFL Hall of Fame. Chris McDermott, the first ever Adelaide Crows captain. They called him Bones, played against him. Ralph Robinson is a guy from New South Wales who was a trendsetter or a pioneer for the game there. And Calvin Templeton, who's a Brownlow medalist. But one guy I was really interested to see, and I knew nothing about him, was a guy called Michael Graham. He played 288 games for the Sturt Football Club.
Yeah, right.
They're called the Double Blues. And they were showing highlights of him. And obviously, he's an amazing, skillful player. He was an Indigenous guy back in the day. But he played 280 games, 88 games, think of that, right? But every time the competition finished, the SANFL, he would then go to Darwin and play a full season of football in Darwin.
So he had no off-season.
Oh, wow.
No off-season. When that finished, he went over to like Northern Queensland, played in some kind of league there that played, half a dozen games. And then he'd come back and start the circuit again, and he did that for over a decade. So they're
without stopping.
He might have played
much football, isn't it?
On Wikipedia is now saying he's played more than 500 games.
More games than anyone. That's at the top level.
Yeah, it sounds like literally if anyone in Australia was playing a game, he just magically appeared and played it.
Yeah. Yes.
How amazing.
Actually, they asked him that question last night and he was still considering playing in the Super Rules game.
Oh, amazing.
There you go.
Well done. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Well done to those guys. Congratulations.
Shaun Sport in podcast form.
So the Boston Celtics yesterday wrapped up the NBA Finals series and they did it pretty easily against the Dallas Mavericks, winning 4-1. It was a home court yesterday and they blew out the margin just after half time by about 25 points. They never got back into the game. That is the Dallas Mavericks never got back into the game.
The only bit I saw of it is just before halftime when the guy came on and lobbed the half quarter.
Yeah, just banged it in.
And then he didn't score for the rest of the match.
Yeah.
That's it. 3 points done.
Are the Celtics, are they the green? Are they
Yes.
green?
Yes, that's
Boston,
their
yep.
18th
Has
title.
anyone in AFL ever chosen to be green? The colours? I know
The
Dockers had green in
early
it.
on, yeah.
But why would
Tassie will be.
Tassie's going to be green?
Devils, yeah, they're going to be green.
Why did no one choose green until...
My favourite outfit was our away Guernsey,
Which
the
was
green
green?
one. Yeah, so I got a couple of them still at
It
home.
really brings
I
out the
felt-
lawn. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you spring up out of nowhere because no
I'd
one's
be like,
manned
oh
you
my
up.
God,
'cause I
yeah,
thought you were a
that's
bit of
a great
turf.
point. Yeah.
Articulations.
Got
Grab
him every
mark the
time.
ball.
Got him every
Brilliant.
time with that one. I want to talk about, so Boston Celtics, right, were bought by a group headlined by a guy called Wick Grousbeck. Now, he's one of those blokes who's a capital venturist.
Yes.
Venturist,
yeah.
who gets all the money and then he invests it. At the time in 2002, they bought the Boston Celtics, led by him, for just over $300 million.
Oh, that seems like a bargain. What are they worth now?
They are valued at $4.7 billion.
Nice investment.
If you got
Not
the
a bad
$300
investment.
million to buy them,
Yes.
it actually works out well.
That's
a
not
good
bad.
return.
If you
is
can get a
it?
couple of friends together to...
Yeah. The
Pitch in.
ROI on that's pretty good, Sean.
The return of, yeah, bloody well done that.
Return on investment.
Interest.
Yep.
Investors.
Sean doesn't know.
I should know that.
Red, orange incense. Sean.
What I wanted to also throw in there was the fact that when
Is that
in
guy
American
single?
sport
No.
you own a team and you win an NFL title or a basketball title in these circumstances, you're the first person that gets to speak and grab the trophy. I don't understand that
I
at
don't
all.
think that's
They
So
right.
won
the
last-
captain doesn't, or the coach doesn't get a
He was
shot
the
in. The
third
owner
person
does.
that was spoken to. The coach.
Amazing, isn't it?
Well, I suppose without their funding, you've got nothing.
I know.
I know, but it sounds like it just seems a bit
Takes it away from the players a bit,
audacious
doesn't
that
it?
they're the
100%.
people
Yeah.
who are getting and
100%.
taking the. Yeah. It's Americans, isn't it? It's just drives me
It is
crazy.
Americans.
Wow, you...
Classically Americans.
I wouldn't speak out about Americans.
And the guy who was the best on ground over the finals was Jaylen Brown was the best player through the final series. And I think I was telling you this last week, Nat, where he's an absolute scholar.
You
Oh,
He's on
yeah.
$305 million.
So
Can you not be bothered finishing the sports
yeah, I
report?
know. I was actually really interested in about an hour ago in my own stuff, but now I've
Yeah.
just fallen off the
Hey,
thing.
no, you do not want to do
just
the
fading
rest,
out.
do you?
Yeah. Yeah. He was top of his class in high school. I'll write this down.
He's a super smart guy.
Yeah.
And he's a really
He
good
was offered
athlete.
a NASA internship.
Hey, Sean, if
Anyway,
you're,
I'm
if you're
done.
not
Yeah,
interested,
well,
I'm not interested.
He's paid $300 million to play
I think
basketball.
we've established we're not interested.
Better pay back than NASA, that's for sure.
Shaun Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.